The following program is a production of KSPS Public Television and is made possible by the Friends of Seven. Mike Noon, a performer whose abilities
I had to face the fact that I had the mind of an athlete and the body of an intellectual.
whose experience
I was in a subway, crowded subway, and I looked down, there was a guy's hand in my pocket. And all I could think was, boy, I hope he's after my money.
and love of his work.
In my job, you gotta be strong, gotta go out, do things wrong, make mistakes, act like a jerk. It isn't easy, but that's my work.
Has audiences everywhere saying they want Mike Noon unplugged.
Thank you very much, and welcome to my show tonight. Thank you all for coming. This is a wonderful theater, and I'm happy to be back. I'd like to start off tonight with a love song. There's a love you hear about all the time in shows from New York to L.A., where the entertainer gets so sincere and says, I love every one of you here. Well, tonight I'd just like to say I never felt that way. Does that bother you? I used to watch big stars, and in the middle of their show somewhere, they'd always say, I love you, I love each and every one of you, and I never trusted them. Because you know they say it every night to every audience. And that's a lot of love. And that's like watching some guy work a singles bar. I love you, trust me. I think we should face the truth here tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll like each other, have a good time, but this isn't love. There's no commitment here. This is a one-nighter. I'll wake up tomorrow and you'll be gone. I don't think it's possible to fall in love with an audience. Maybe you can. Maybe tonight we could fall in love. I could take you home, say, Mom, Dad, this is my audience. We fell in love. I don't think we should rush into it. I think we should date a while, find out about each other. I've got to warn you, when I get off stage, I'm not nearly this flashy. But it could be the answer. It could, Monogamy isn't working that well. Couples are splitting up. People are getting divorced. Maybe we're not supposed to live in pairs. Maybe we're supposed to live in herds. Be a big wedding. I just hope your parents can afford it. Honeymoon would be beautiful. Romantic walks in the country. Just the 800 of us. Come home, find a nice little auditorium in the country, settle down. But then we'd run up against the big problem, the one that splits up a lot of marriages. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. A lot of people want to keep it hidden. A lot of people want to get it right out in the open. Some people think it's beautiful and wonderful. Some people think it's dirty. Some people want to do it all the time. Some people don't want to do it ever. You know what I'm talking about. Smoking. Some of us smoke and some of us don't. No marriage can stand up under that kind of pressure. But I still see entertainers in their prime, professing their love every single time. I see them make millions and pack every hall. On second thought, I love you all. I really do. Trust me, each and every one of you. I went to Bora Bora a while ago. I was in Bora Bora, and I went shark feeding in Bora Bora. This is a tour, and people pay to do this. I'm not making this up. It's one of the smart things I've done in my life. It ranks right up there with walking through Central Park at midnight yelling, "Gee, I've got a lot of money in my pocket." In shark feeding, this is actually what you do. You get out, they take you out on a boat, they give you a mask and a snorkel, and you get in the water. For right then, you should know, you know. No, it sounded good to me. So I got in the water, and then they have a piece of yellow rope about a foot under the surface. It's like clothesline, and everyone lines up along the yellow rope. And you're floating there, and then a guy throws bait in the water right in front of you, and sharks come. And they're like 5, 6 foot sharks. They're big enough, you know, and they're thrashing around, and they come very close. And when they come really close, like 2, 3 feet away, everyone does the same thing. They hold up the yellow rope. Sorry, no sharks past the yellow rope. It's in the shark rule book. Yeah. And I thought, now that's stupid. I mean, that's really dumb. And then we went to New Zealand, and some of my friends went bungee jumping. Now, I can tell just by looking that this is a bungee jumping crowd. But New Zealand, I guess, is where it started. One of the great sports. Yeah. Get on a bridge 200 feet above the water, tie a rubber band around your feet, and jump off. And if you're really smart, you tie the other end to the bridge. There's not a lot to remember in bungee jumping, but that one is really important. And then just before you hit the water, the rubber band stops you, and you bounce up and down really hard like this. And if you do it just right, you can shove all your internal organs down into your skull. Your brain's down there saying, "Hi, spleen, what are you doing?" A friend of mine's got a new sport, reverse bungee jumping. This is where they tie you to the bridge, pull you down to the ground, and let go. And people pay to do this. They pay money to do these things. And, so I've got a new sport now. I've got my own sport. It's grizzly bear tickling. You give me a bunch of money, I'll give you feathers, show you where the bears are. And don't worry, if you get scared, I'll give you a piece of yellow rope you can hold up. But I better get back to what I do best, and that, of course, is sing the blues. I've studied all the great blues singers, people like Sonny Terry, Brownie McGhee, B.B. King, Debbie Boone. And this is a blues for people who can't sleep, the insomniac blues. Some nights you just get it all together. B.B. King is scared to death right now. He's like, whoa, that guy can play. Woke up this morning, sky was black as coal. 4 a.m. Depression filled my soul. "4 a.m. Low point of the night, when when nothing in the world seems right. You ever get that? The 4 a.m. blues. You lie there wide awake, totally depressed. It's a horrible hour of the night. And you go through certain mental rituals, don't you? Like first, you start counting up all the defects in your body. Dude, don't you? Like the way it's getting older, gravity is taking over. A few more years, just be a pair of shoes with a big pile of wrinkles on top. But that's not depressing enough, so then you go over all the stupid things you've done in your life. And you have favorites, don't you? My favorite stupid thing was a time, years ago, I got on a Tonight Show, sang a song that I'd written, and forgot the words. It was not a good career move. That's why I'm playing Spokane. Next week, Ritzville. This is the only theater in the world where you can mention Ritzville and someone knows what you're talking about. But that's not depressing enough, so then you go over all your weird romantic fantasies. We all have those, don't we? We all try and pretend we're normal, but we're not. I knew a woman who used to fantasize about Fred Flintstone. Moments of high passion, she'd go, yabba dabba doo. 4 a.m. It's a terrible hour of the night. Hunters and fishermen get up at 4 a.m. That's why they want to kill things. They'd sleep into a decent hour. They'd be saying, hey, let's go feed the ducks. You know? There's only one cure for the 4 a.m. blues, and that's love. I learned that years ago. I rolled over and said, darling, I've got the blues. I need you to just hold me, get me through this dark hour of the night. She opened up her eyes, smiled sweetly, and said, you're not Fred Flintstone. Yes, the 4 a.m. blues are gonna drive me to drink. I need professional help. I need a shrink, so I called up a few, but I got no help from them, 'cause they're really cranky at 4 a.m. I was looking at the singles ads the other day. Did you ever look through those? Well, there's a lot of desperate people out there. Slow going. That's hard. I feel sorry for young single people these days. It's hard because it's dangerous. I mean, it's scary. You make one mistake and you could die from it. I mean, it's just awful. It's a terrible way to live. And I was young and single back in the 60s, back in the days of free love and living together and wild sex. And all I can say to these kids today is, ha ha. There's not a lot of advantages to being old, but that one is enormous. The world is crazy now. It's really strange. My wife went to the doctor a while ago. She went to a new doctor. She hadn't been to him before. And when she got there, they told her she was going to have to pay an $85 new patient fee. Have you run into this? They have that over here, the new patient fee. This is the latest advance in modern medicine. This is why doctors drive Mercedes and I don't. It never occurred to me to charge a new audience fee. Haven't seen my show before? Whoa, that'd be $85. Just kind of made us mad. I mean, can you think of any other business where they charge you extra for being a new customer? I mean, you don't walk into hardware and they say, well, the pliers are $12, but you're a new customer, so it'd be $47.50. It'd be great for undertakers. What's that? You've never died before? Oh. And we asked the doctor, and he explained. He says, the cost of setting up a new medical file. Now, let's think about that a little bit. I wonder what they put in that new medical file. This is just a guess, but I think it's the stuff you fill out on the clipboard. And I know it's hard for doctors now. I know malpractice insurance is sky high and all this stuff. But it's kind of a shame, really, because this whole deal, we're kind of losing our respect for doctors. I mean, doctors used to be heroes. In the old days, remember, they go out and save people's lives. Everyone looked up to doctors, and we're kind of losing that now. And I'm looking for new heroes. We've got a mechanic in our town. This is the truth. He does great work. He charges a fair price, and I think that's heroic. I mean, I think that's just wonderful. So when I get sick, I go to him. I had a valve job just the other day. It was great. And if you can't find heroes, you can always make them up. The human mind is wonderful. You can make up beautiful things. And I always root for underdogs, so this is my latest underdog hero song. Mary, the ordinary, is a hero to me. She's not that sweet and she works the street. She'll go down in history. Now, Mary had a tough life. Her father was a mean drunk. One night he came home, slapped her around, passed out on the sofa. Now, a violent woman would have bought a knife or a gun. Mary rose above that, but not too far. She went out and bought 47 tubes of super glue. Came back and glued them to the sofa. And she ran away from home. Neighbors found him the next morning crawling around like a turtle. Rushed him to the hospital for an emergency sulfectomy. Mary, the ordinary, is a hero to me. She's not that sweet and she works the street. She'll go down in history. Mary ended up in the big city. No skills, no money. Surviving as best she could on the streets. One night a guy came up to her. His name was Bad Billy. He said, "You'll be working for me now. I do everything I say or it's going to get rough." Well, it was her father all over again. And she could tell he was not at the peak of his profession. He was driving a pink Isuzu. She went out and bought 47 tubes of super glue. That night he got out of the car for cigarettes. She coated the seat, the steering wheel, the pedals, the floor. He got back in that car and he stayed there. She got out, glued the door shut, and ran away from town. Police found him, rushed him to the hospital for an emergency Isuzuectomy. Mary, the ordinary, is a hero to me. She's not that sweet and she works the street. she'll go down in history. Mary ended up in a tiny little town. Got a job working for a mechanic, a decent, gentle man. And they fell in love and lived happily till one day, Bad Billy drove his Isuzu in the front door of their shop. He saw Mary and went crazy. He came after her. The mechanic jumped between them. The two men started fighting. You know in the movies where the woman stands helplessly aside while the two men fight it out? Mary thought those movies were stupid. Her husband was getting beat up. She grabbed a piece of tailpipe, tried to hit Billy in the stomach, landed a little low. Turned him into a candidate for the Vienna Boys Choir. Police came, took Billy to jail, took her husband to the hospital. Doctor fixed him up, charged him an $85 new patient fee. Next day, they found the doctor glued to his Mercedes. Mary is a hero to me. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately. I've been working on cruise ships, going around the world on ships, and seeing some wonderful places. I was supposed to go to Egypt last fall. That was a big cruise I was on, and we didn't go because it was too dangerous. There's a lot of problems in Egypt. We had people on that ship from Miami, and New York, and Los Angeles. We didn't go to Egypt because it was too dangerous. There are gangs in Miami that could conquer Egypt. Do you ever notice if you're going to do something really stupid, you always do it when there's a lot of people around? Right? We never do it when we're alone, right? When we're alone, we say all the right things, we move like gazelles, no problem. As soon as people get around, you just blow it. I got off a ship one time in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta, and I had to cross a street. Big, empty street, not a car for miles. Normally, I can do that. I'd say 9 times out of 10, I can cross a street. But this time, there were a lot of people around. There was like hundreds of tourists, and they were watching, and the pressure was too much. I got halfway across, and I turned my ankle on nothing. There's nothing there. It was like a big clump of air. I turned my ankle and I started to fall sideways. Have you ever done the thing where you fall sideways and you get about halfway down and you try and save it? Like your feet start going really fast, right? Because the feet have a plan. The feet are thinking, if we go really fast, we can get back underneath the body. And the mind knows better. The mind's saying, just fall down, get it over with. And the feet are saying, no, we can save this. We can do it. Man, I got up to top speed, and I do feel stupid running down the road, you know, like this. And then gravity got me, and I just crashed. I just exploded. Things flew out of my pocket, my glasses went in, and I tumbled and bounced, and I finally came to a stop, and it was just like dead silence. And all these people were just staring at me. And then I could hear them talking. They said, did you see that? That guy just ran as fast as he could and dove into the pavement. It's got to be one of those new sports. It's like street diving. Public stupidity. That's my job. When you think about it, that's my job. My job is to go out and do really stupid things, come back and tell you about them. You laugh at me, and I make a lot of money. It's a great life. In my job, you gotta be strong, gotta go out, do things wrong, make mistakes, act like a jerk. It isn't easy, but that's my work. You can join in on this if you like. This is the world's greatest sing-along because you can make mistakes. You can sing anything you want. You sing the wrong words, the wrong tune, anything. Are you ready? In my job, got to be strong, got to go out and do things wrong. Here we go. In my job, you got to be strong, got to go out and do things wrong. Make mistakes, act like a jerk. It isn't easy, but that's my word. Make mistakes, act like a jerk. Blah, blue, lee, la, blue, la. Just follow me. Buying a car is easy for me. I just go to those guys you see on TV. Let them hustle me into some old beater with bald tires and a broken heater. Frame is bent, the gears are shot, the engine explodes as I leave the lot. Do I get upset? Fly into a rage? No. I take that story out on the stage. If it works, I got a new routine. Take the money by a limousine. In my, ready, sing. In my job, you gotta be strong, gotta go out, do things wrong, make mistakes, act like a jerk. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Now I dream of big mistakes, world-class mistakes. I want to ride up to a biker bar on a moped. Walk in, yell, Harleys are for wimps. Want to open a Burger King in India. Just seeing, where's the beef? Yeah. I want to go into a final exam, say, hey, these aren't the questions I stole. Yes, in my job, you gotta be strong, gotta go out and do things wrong, make mistakes every day, then I can sing, I did it my way. Thank you, you've been a great audience. I love you, each and every one of you, trust me. This has always been one of my dreams, was to be an entertainer. It wasn't my first dream. My first dream was to be a basketball player. When I was a kid, I wanted to play ball. I wanted to play in the NBA. And starting to look like that may not happen now. I think once you hit middle age and no team has drafted you, you got to write it off. Got to face facts. Had to face the fact that I had the mind of an athlete and the body of an intellectual. It's not easy. I had other dreams. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a doctor. I thought it'd be fun to be a doctor because I love golf. And now I've got a new dream. I want to do something meaningful with my life. I'm thinking of becoming an agnostic missionary. Just go door to door telling people I haven't got a clue. Be a relief, wouldn't it? Open your door, have some guy stand there and say, hey, your guess is as good as mine. But it's not easy being an agnostic. You get together with other agnostics, there's not much to do. You can't pray, Our Father, who may or may not be in heaven. And there are no songs to sing. Religious people have hundreds of glorious songs, great songs. Agnostics don't have any, not one, and it's not fair. So I wrote one. I don't know, I don't know, I haven't a clue which way you should go. I don't know, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't know. You can all join in on this if you'd like. If you don't know the words, just sing, I don't know. If you don't feel like singing, don't do it. Just relax. There are people here that have been drinking ever since they got off work. They're just ripped out of their minds, and they'll cover for you. Are you ready? Here we go. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue which way you should go. I don't know. Repeat. I don't know. To tell you the truth, to tell you the truth, I don't know. The song doesn't have any verses. Once you admit you don't know, there's nothing else to sing about. But I have a dream of all the agnostics gathering for a huge demonstration, pouring out in their homes and offices, carrying big banners with nothing on them, marching in all directions because we don't know where we're going. Won't be easy. Gonna have to give up a lot of holidays. Have to give up bingo. Have to give up religious wars because there are no agnostic fanatics. People who don't know and are willing to kill for it. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Mike, we want to join this crusade. We want to take our life savings, send them into a bunch of people who haven't got a clue. Don't laugh. We do it every year at tax time. Yes, Mike, where do we send our money? I don't know. Again, I don't know. I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue which way you should go. I don't know. Repeat. I don't know. To tell you the truth, to tell you the truth, I don't know. Got a lot of things to get off my chest tonight. I've been thinking about America. I've figured out one of the problems in America, something we can change. We keep trying to elect perfect people. We want people with perfect families, perfect backgrounds, perfect teeth, perfect hair, and there are no such people. I mean, we've got nearly 1,000 people here tonight. Could any of us run for president? No. I'd last about 12 minutes with the background check. I think it's time to organize a new party, the RPP, the Real People Party. We want people who are divorced, who can't program a VCR, who inhaled in the 60s. And who think family values is a section at Kmart. We want people who snore, who always take the wrong exit on the freeway, and whose stomachs make strange noises in church. We want people with real families, people with brothers who dress up in ball gowns and swing from chandeliers. Sisters with tattoos in strange places. Mothers who missed Lady Di's wedding because it was their bowling night. We want jobless people. Why elect someone who's already got a job to another job? Stupid. Our heroes are Mark Twain, Mae West, Moms Mabley, Oscar Wilde, and Mr. Magoo. Our theme song is Send in the Clowns. And someday we can elect one of us. A man whose vision far exceeds his abilities. Whose words outstrip his deeds, and whose self-image is far removed from reality. The man who's been in public service all his life and never accomplished a thing. That's right, I think it's time to elect Barney Fife for president. Thank you, and good night. I'm doing a lot of things this year. I started lifting weights. I guess that's obvious. Yeah, my massive upper body structure. Actually, I don't want to be one of those big guys. I don't want to be one of those bodybuilders. I just got tired of falling through the slats in my deck chair. I wanted to have a T-shirt with more than one word on it. It's embarrassing to have a T-shirt that says "the." So I started lifting weights. You got to start easy. You don't want to hurt yourself. I started with styrofoam. Yeah, I was pumping foam and worked my way up to aluminum, and now I'm pumping iron. And I can tell the difference already. I can lift my guitar. Next time you see me, I could be playing cello. No one's ever written a song about lifting weights because it's a pretty stupid concept. So I got right on it. Go down to the health club, put on my sweats, start pumping iron, counting out the sets. I'm working at the health club, hitting it hard, can't be distracted by a leotard. It's a big problem, isn't it, guys? There's a lot of healthy women in those places, and you don't want to stare at them like some sexist geek, but your choices of where to look are lousy. And you can look at beautiful, healthy women, or you can stare at stationary bikes. You don't see a bunch of guys standing around saying, "Whoa, look at the pedals on that one." The other problem with women in a health club is guys turn stupid. We do. It's hereditary. We just do. I was in a club one day. There were a bunch of guys lifting weights, rational, normal human beings, working within our limits. A woman walked in. Everyone went crazy. It's like, yeah, I can bench press 5,000 pounds. There's a woman watching. And it was really sophomoric. I mean, it was stupid. That's how I got this big groove across my chest. And we never learn. You know, I'm getting older. I should be past that stuff. I am not. No. I was in a health club one day. There's a woman on the butterfly machine. You know that machine where you sit and you go like this? You go, and she was working really hard. Just, and she stood up and walked away, and I thought, well, I'll show her how that's done. Went over and sat down and went, tore all the muscles across my upper body. Walked around for a week with my hands in the air. Muggers loved it. Thought I was a gift. But it's important to lift weights. You never know when you'll be driving and the road will be blocked by a barbell. It happens all the time. It happened to me just the other day. I was just lucky one of those women came along, moved it for me. But I've got a reason for lifting weights. When I was a little kid, One of my classmates used to beat me up all the time, and I swore someday I would get him. And he won't be hard to find either, because he had a weird name. Schwarzenegger. I'm working at the health club. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I'd like to play the harmonica now. I've had a lot of requests. Once again, the requests have just been pouring in. Play the old harmonica. Thank you. I'll be playing some more harmonica later on. I was home practicing one time, and our dog was in the room. We have a dog, and his name is Satch, and he's a big, funny dog. But I don't know if you've ever, I was doing my best stuff. I was playing the guitar and doing songs and stuff, and I don't know if you've ever tried to entertain a dog. But it is slow going. You try and get a dog to laugh, boy, it can really keep you humble. So he was lying there, he was just bored to tears. But then I picked up the harmonica and I started to play, and he sat up and he threw his head back and he sang. I mean, he was like a coyote or a wolf or something. I mean, he was singing. I don't know if you've ever heard a harmonica dog duet. It is an awesome sound. You can't even describe it. It's incredible. It's like two car alarms going off at once. And we played and sang all afternoon. It was great. Had a wonderful time. Then a few days later, Sunday morning, 7 a.m., my next door neighbor started his power mower. And it woke me up, and I was mad. I mean, I was furious. And then I thought, wait a minute. I have got a weapon. I waited till late that night. About 3 a.m., got my harmonica, my dog Satch. Went out in the front yard, started playing some duets. All the dogs in the neighborhood rushed over to join in. We had about 15 dogs all howling at once. It was like the Mongrel Tabernacle Choir. That neighbor rushed out waving a white flag, screaming, "I surrender, I give up." A few weeks later, I woke up in the middle of the night. There were noises downstairs, a prowler. Luckily, I always keep a harmonica beside the bed for protection. I picked it up, started to play. Sat up, started howling. All the dogs in the neighborhood rushed over and surrounded the house. There were pit bulls and Doberman pinchers and coyotes and wolves, and they were howling and throwing themselves at the doors and the windows, and I rushed downstairs, and that burglar was calling the cops. Now, Satch couldn't be here tonight. He's working in L.A. and New York at the moment. But I'm going to play his favorite piece of music. This is Concerto for Dog in E major. It's composed in 3 movements. The first is a slow dog being bored by an entertainer movement. It's very slow, very boring. Luckily, it's also very short. The first movement. The second movement is filled with anticipation as Satch sees me go for the harmonica, starts bouncing around like a sprightly dog wood nymph. This is the second movement, the sprightly dog wood nymph movement. This is public television. They talk like that. They say that. This will be my last show on public television. The sprightly dog wood nymph movement. My dog is part Norwegian. The third movement is full-on mongrel dog blues, rising to a crescendo of excitement. Now you may feel an overpowering, incredible urge to howl like a dog. Don't worry, this is perfectly normal. Just let it out. Don't hold back. You could hurt yourself. It's very dangerous if you try and hold it back. The wildly exciting dog howling third movement. Perfect. Have you ever looked at these? These are finger picks. A lot of I think Bonnie Raitt uses finger picks, and these are made out of a special metal. These are like the same stuff they use in jet engines. So I'm cleared to play faster than the speed of sound. When you think of it, it'd be pretty stupid. This is a thumb pick. This is what separates us from the apes. It's the only reason baboons don't play guitars. They don't have that, can't use that thumb pick. Important thing to remember, if you're ever going to use these, don't scratch your back. If you do, don't even try to explain it to your wife. Just get out of town. Close enough. This is comedy. This isn't, Carnegie Hall or anything. Well, I keep dropping names. I've been traveling a lot lately, and that's what I've been doing. I got mugged about 3 weeks ago in Brazil. I was in the town. It's kind of embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, I've walked through American cities all my life, never had a problem. I had to go to Brazil to get mugged. But it was weird. There were like 6 guys, and there was 2 of us. We're just walking down the street, and all of a sudden we're surrounded by 6 guys, and one of them had a knife, and it was it was a big knife. It's getting bigger each time I tell this story. It was a pen knife. He had this little knife. But it was weird because I don't know if you've ever been involved in any kind of a violent act like that, but I've seen so many movies and so many shows on TV and stuff that it's almost like it's not real. They came up and held a knife up, and I said, oh, okay, this is a mugging scene. And then I said, what happens next is I kick the knife out of the guy's hand, and we beat up these 6 guys and go on our way. And then my brain kicked in. So now I said, no, you forgot the watch over here. And afterwards, we got scared. It was like the thing happened so quickly. It was like not real. And then afterwards, we started to shake. I mean, it was pretty scary stuff. And then we realized that we went to the police station, and we realized we were the world's worst witnesses. I mean, it was just embarrassing because I could remember the knife, and that was it. And we tried to figure out what they looked like. We decided none of them were Chinese. Pretty much narrowed it down to Western civilization. Just embarrassing. This last song is a song about courage. So I was thinking about courage a while ago. You know, yeah, heck with it. I'll just muffle it. You know that scene where there's a house on fire and there's a big crowd out in front, and someone dashes out of the crowd into the burning building and saves someone and brings them out, and everybody cheers? I'd be part of that crowd. Most of us would be, wouldn't we? Or there wouldn't be any crowds. There'd be a big fire and everyone would rush into the burning building. It's stupid. Courage is tricky stuff. And the courage I admire the most is the courage of people who stand up against bullies, tyrants, bigots. It takes a huge amount of courage to do that. And I don't know how you get that kind of courage. I think you have to start with small acts of courage and build up to the big ones. And that's what I'm working on now. I want the courage to wear a t-shirt with nothing on it. The courage to walk into a health food store eating a Big Mac and fries. I want the courage to go to a nude beach. I want the courage to take a video camera. I want the courage to play big money Scrabble with William F. Buckley. I want the courage to barge into a crack house and yell, "Surprise!" I want the courage to walk through Orange County yelling, "I'm a Democrat." I want the courage to walk through downtown Detroit yelling, "I'm white and I'm scared to death." And most of all, I want the courage to end this show without singing a patriotic song. I used to work a lot in Nevada, and I'd see all those guys, and they'd always end with a patriotic song, and some of them were sincere, and some of them it was just a cheap ploy to get a standing ovation. On second thought, I think I will sing a patriotic song. No, I get people from all different countries in my audience. I know we've got some Canadians here tonight. I think it's pretty rude to sit up here and sing, "I'm an American, my country's the best, I'm better than you." That's not nice. I think you can be bigger than that. So I've become a world patriot. I'm proud to be from planet Earth, and I don't care who hears it. I think Earth is the best darn planet in the solar system. Does Mars have chocolate thunder frozen yogurt? Does Venus have the Singer handy-stitch sewing machine? Does Jupiter have baboon liver implants? No, Earth is the best. And tonight I'd like to end with a song that all Earthlings can sing together. A song beautiful in its simplicity, yet deep, deep in its meaning. And I just hope you'll join with me as we sing. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out. Thank you very much.